Number one, attributing, K-pop to quote unquote saving your life. And I think it's a very dangerous notion to be putting out there, especially in a time like this where people are constantly romanticizing things like mental health issues and stuff like that. And for you to be walking around and say K-pop saved my life is irresponsible, because K-pop does not save a
So
life.
I agree. People need to stop making these glib remarks that K-pop cured them of a mental health disorder. However, I would wager the people seriously saying this are young. Those who say it with the caveat that K-pop has provided a meaningful distraction or a coping mechanism for them is completely different and completely valid. A definition of a coping mechanism is going to be on screen here, as well as the link will be in my description to the specific paper that's seen here, so just FYI there. Anyway, insinuating that only now are people romanticizing mental health disorders is just blatantly false and a quick Google search away. This is not a new thing. Is it bad either way? Absolutely yes. However, I don't think you can really blame a predominantly young segment of the population for doing this when they aren't proactively taught that it's wrong in the first place. Your point brings awareness to the issue and can hopefully help, which is great. However, this is not where point number one ended, so let's continue on.
People who have depression need therapy. They need professional help, okay? If you say that K-pop cured your depression and saved your life, I'm gonna bet you $1,000,000 you never had depression in the first place, and your life never needed any saving.
So, quote, K-pop does not save a life. As we're talking about an interest or a hobby here, this is just false. Like, yes, K-pop itself didn't reach out and stop you from jumping off the bridge, but it is a valid coping mechanism that aids in your overall life state, as it's something that brings you enjoyment and contentment. So you just can't say this. It doesn't even make sense with basically what life even is. So I do agree that K-pop, or any interest for that matter, does not solve all your problems. There's a saying that if your relationship is bad, having a baby isn't going to fix it. It's a temporary solution that has real potential to harm instead of heal, which I will say Everglow-up does mention this kind of in an intro of this video, kind of someone having their life taken over by K-pop. But so that's where you can see that there's potential for harm instead of like actual helpful benefits, right? So obviously, I agree. I do not agree that people who get into a new interest, such as K-pop, are ignoring their problems and focusing on K-pop. Maybe for some people that's true, but that blanket statement for literally everyone is just so wild. Further, obviously people need professional help. This is an entirely different issue that I'll get into a little later.
You're also obsessed with idols who have mental health issues, or obsessed with telling people that an idol is depressed when you don't know if they are or not, and you're not a doctor or you don't have any experience in the mental health field, and you just have so much crap to say about people's mental health.
And you just have so much crap to say about people's mental health. End quote. So, Everglow-up is speaking on whether or not people have mental health struggles, and they think that's okay. But no one else is allowed to speculate on anyone else's mental health. That is a very big logic jump, and just, I'm telling you, when she said this, I just was astounded, because A, it's a pretty big contradiction there, but also so floored. I am still so floored. I have thought about this nonstop. Like, wow. Neither are okay. It is not okay to speculate on anyone else's mental health, whether it is a K-pop idol, your next door neighbor, whoever. It is not okay. Okay, so it's not okay for anyone. Not just, a BTS stan, okay? It's not okay for anyone. It doesn't matter if you have a YouTube channel or not. It is not okay. And so I have a very big problem with this, especially kind of the hypocrisy here of saying like, you can't speak on this, but I'm allowed to say that you don't have depression because you said X. That is wild to me. So here's what we have. On the one hand, saying people that state K-pop saved their life is wrong and naive. And you then insisting they do not suffer from any issue because of this statement. So that's wrong, just like FYI. And on the other hand, we have saying, oh, don't do this. It's just, what a time to be alive. I don't want to be this hand pointy, finger pointy, but like, you are literally speculating on others' mental health with your entire point here and diminishing potential issues people have. So I don't understand, because you seem to be against it, but yet you did it in this video. So what's happening? To be honest, this is just such an odd take overall. Like, I don't know, I can't imagine someone saying this about any other interest someone has. What truly comes to mind, to me, obviously to me, is someone saying, oh, God saved you? God stopped you from ending it all? Yeah, right. I don't think you were ever suffering. Like, that is what I think of, and that is just so very belittling. It doesn't even matter what situation this is. Like, it is made very apparent, I think, especially if you involve something like religious belief. Like, oh my gosh, it is made so apparent how belittling and just minimizing it is. To just be like, oh, you think this helped you? Well, because of the way you said it, I don't think so. And also, I think you're perfectly fine. Like, thanks for the support. So at the end of the day, I basically took issue with this because I think these statements that were made do more harm than good. Yes, awareness was brought to the romanticizing of mental health issues, which was great. 10 out of 10. Always good to kind of point that out. However, the overall delivery in Everglow-up's video is lacking, and I think instead it can come off as harmful. I mean, I perused the comments a bit. I usually don't do that in other people's videos, but I did because I was like genuinely curious on the response. And, there were definitely people in there. I'll put a couple of them up here that I screenshotted. There were definitely people that very clearly were taken aback by this, maybe even hurt. Can't speak for them, but clearly kind of like, oh, okay. And then there were other people who very much agreed, obviously. I mean, obviously you're going to have detractors and people who agree with you. So I very obviously can only speak from my own experience. And as such, this would have made me feel pretty shitty, especially as a minor. But years ago, this would have made me feel pretty bad. So as a minor, I was unable to seek professional help. I had no income, and my family did not believe I had any issues. I was usually told something along the lines of, what do you have to be sad about? Get over it. And reactions like this are relatively commonplace, as there is still a sizable stigma around many, if not all, mental health issues. Because of this, I didn't seek professional help until well after I was an adult, because I believed there was nothing wrong with me, because everyone told me there was nothing wrong with me, that I wasn't really X, Y, or Z, because what do I even have to be upset about in the first place? I should get over it. So everyone told me that in my life, and I told myself that. So that's why I think it is very harmful to say, I don't think you were ever suffering in the first place because you said X. No. That's not how life works. It's not how anything works. I also bring this up as it is mentioned to, quote, seek professional help, which is good advice, definitely get help. However, it's kind of just glossed over. And this isn't a simple task. Some people are not able to for a variety of reasons. So in the meantime, maybe let them take comfort in twice. I don't know. Also, I kind of just wanted to throw in a story I have about how, quote, I guess K-pop saved my life. Just so that if you do see this and feel maybe a little demoralized, you're not alone. So let me just give you a real life example. I have verbatim told people in my life that Jackson Wang of GOT7 inspired me to make a life change when I was at a very low point. Sure, someone else or something else may have come along a month later and helped me too, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is, Jackson Wang was an inspiration and a vital, encouraging entity in my life. So if someone were to insist that I did not have any problems if a, quote, K-pop boy helped me through things, it's just ludicrous. You cannot tell someone what did or did not help them. You are not them, and you are not their therapist either. But I just kind of wanted to throw that in, because I think it's perfectly okay to say things like, hey, so-and-so helped me. So-and-so really was an inspiration. I think that's great. Maybe what we can learn from this is to just be more mindful of the language we use when talking about how what an important role someone had in our lives. But yeah, that's kind of just my example there. And finally, to conclude, I think it's damaging to try and dictate how people express their struggles, which is funny considering I literally just said maybe we should be more mindful of our language. But alas. I think it's damaging to say that so-and-so never needed saving if K-pop / painting / writing / camping / a higher power helped them through their depression. Ultimately, that is what's being said here, that an interest, hobby, or belief does not help you through anything in life. And I'm of the opinion that that's wrong, and we shouldn't say that. So that's really what I want you to get from the video, is don't tell people about their lives, because they know about their lives, and you don't. Okay, bye.